Asia civilization. Early history. Oldest human remains in South Asia around 75 years ago. Early humans made tools and lived a nomadic hunter-gatherer life. Artifacts indicate that around 5000 BCE, farming developed in South Asia. People began to live in permanent places in villages, slowly developed. Eventually, these villages turned into cities. The civilization is known by many names: Ancient India, Indus Valley, and Harappan civilization. Historians and archaeologists believe 3000 BCE. 3200 BCE, trade between ancient India and Mesopotamia. So, sinasabi dito sa South Asia civilization, ang mga labi ng mga sinaunang tao ay kung babalikan sa taon na 75,000 years ago, sa sobrang tagal na ng mga labi or buto ng mga sinaunang tao. Samantala, sa kanilang pangkabuhayan o kinukuhanan nila ng pagkain ay gumamit sila ng mga kagamitan upang para mangaso at mag-ipon ng mga pagkain para sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na buhay. Artifacts indicate that around 5000 BCE. So, pagsasaka ang ang pagsasaka ay na-develop sa South Asia. So, dito pala nagsimula ang pagsasaka sa South Asia. Pagkatapos, people began to live in permanent places and villages slowly developed. Eventually, these villages turned into city. So, sila yung tinatawag na nomadic na walang saktong lugar o tirahan. Kaya matagal-tagal din na naging ang kanilang mga villages ay naging syudad na siya. Pagkatapos may mga sibilisasyon na nabuo. At ito ay ang Ancient India, Indus Valley, and Harappan civilization. Ayon naman sa pagsusuri ng mga historians and archaeologists na naniniwala sila na ang Indus Valley ay nasa 3000 BCE ang kanyang tagal. Samantala, sa 3012 BCE naman, ito yung pakikipagkalakal ng Ancient India at Mesopotamia.
The next is I'll discuss about the Ancient India. The Ancient India was called Harappan civilization. It's because it is the one of ancient cities was called Harappa. Harappa was just one of 1,500 cities in the Indus River Valley. Also, it is another known city was called Mohenjo-Daro. The civilization was not discovered until become 1920s CE. One of the reasons the Indus Valley civilization is so mysterious, it's because historians have not been able to translate their complicated written language was called Indus script. There are thousands of artifacts with 400 to 600 different written symbols. The most of these symbols were pressed into soft clay with seals. Indus script have been discovered in Mesopotamia. They suggest the maintained the regular trade.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. Ancient India. What is ancient India? Ancient India is often called the Harappan civilization because one of the ancient cities was called Harappa, was just one of the 1,000 cities in the Indus River Valley. Another well-known city is called Mohenjo-daro. Ang ibig sabihin ng Harappa, mas kilala siya sa Mohenjo-daro na isa sa mga cities sa Indus River Valley. Historians estimate ancient India to be the biggest of all four early civilizations. This civilization was not discovered until the 1920s CE, and much of this civilization remains a mystery. One of the reasons the Indus Valley civilization is so mysterious is because historians have not able to translate their complicated written language is called Indus script. There are thousands of artifacts with 400 to 600 different written symbols. Most symbols were pressed into soft clay with a seal. A seal is similar to a stamp that makes an impression in the soft clay. Seals are sometimes in a cylinder shape so they can be rolled on the clay. Indus script symbols have been discovered in Mesopotamia, which suggests they maintained a regular trade. Kumbaga, ang seals, ito na yung ginagawa nilang tatak kung saan tatak sa clay na natatagpuan nila sa Mesopotamia at ginagawa na nilang pangkabuhayan. The archaeologists had found the remains of cities to be incredibly well planned out. Historians estimate that each major cities could support as many as 80,000 people. So ancient India was by far the largest early civilization. One of their planned out is the buildings were made from the mud bricks that had been fired in kiln to make it harder. Kiln is a hot oven or furnace to bake clay pottery. That's
Good day everyone, I am Ira P. Akbar and this is my report. The Indus Valley religion is also mysterious because the language hasn't been translated. Historians believe they maybe have worshipped a mother goddess. Naging mahiwagang mysterious ang Indus Valley religion sa dahilan ng hindi pa naisasalin ng kanilang wika at sumasamba rin sila sa isang inang Diyosa. We believe the great bath could have been used for some types of baptism. On this picture, this is the great bath na ginagamit nila para sa mga uri ng binyag. A small artifact has been found that some historians think may be a priest, but archaeologists have yet to find a temple of any kind. Some of the Indus script symbols are related to the images of the modern religion of Hinduism, but historians don't all agree about the symbols. Dahil hindi pa sila nakakahanap ng templo, ang ilan sa mga simbolo ng Indus script ay nakaugnay sa relihiyon ng Hinduism. Pero hindi lahat ng mga historiador ay sang-ayon tungkol sa simbolo. To the left shows a three-faced person sitting in the lotus position. Ano nga ba ang lotus position? Okay, the lotus position is important as the lotus flower in Hindu imagery. Lotus pose is an important foundational pose in yoga practice. At ang position ay kung ang isang tao ay nakaupo ng tuwid na nakatiklop ang mga binti sa kandungan nito. The lotus position, a yoga position of meditation where person sits upright with their legs folded on their lap. By 1500 BCE, the one vast and powerful civilization began to decline. At some point it suddenly ended. Historians are uncertain why this area's power declined. Nagsimulang bumagsak noong 1500 BCE ang makapangyarihang sibilisasyon na nahantong sa pagkawakas nito, na hindi mabatid o maintindihan ng mga historiador kung bakit humina ang lugar na ito. There are some theories that a great earthquake scrambled cities and changed the path of rivers, which is caused them to move to a new location. Another theory suggests invading armies destroyed some cities and forced most people to move. One thing we know for sure is that civilization that once lived in this area ended and new people moved into this area. It appears that most of our homes had water drain system and their home a technology that wouldn't be much in the history of
over 3,000 years. However, most people didn't live in the urban areas. Most people live in farming villages and rural areas. Karamihan sa mga tahanan sa lungsod ay may water drain system ng isang teknolohiyang hindi makatugma sa loob ng 3,000 years. Domesticated several plants, including melons, wheat, peas, dates, sesame seeds, and cotton, as well as many animals. Archaeologists have discovered what food of the ancient Indian people ate by examining the teeth of skeletons in food storage areas. Another example of how well planned the Indus Valley civilization was their grain storage building, and some historians believe they have discovered a massive granary nearly 200 feet long to store and dry wheat. However, there is no evidence of grain in this building, so once again, historians are uncertain about the mysterious Indus Valley civilization. Husay magplano ang sibilisasyon ng Indus sa gusaling maaring maimbakan ng butil, ngunit may mga historiador ang nagsasabi na walang butil sa gusaling kanilang pinaplano. Ancient India was different from the Egyptian and Mesopotamians in several ways. One way, they are different in that three appear to very few large structures in ancient India. One of the largest structures that has been discovered called the Great Bath. Naiiba sa mga Egyptian at Mesopotamians ang sinaunang India dahil maliit lamang ang mga naipatayong struktura ng mga ito at ang isa lamang na malaking istrukturang kanilang natuklasan ay ang Great Bath na karaniwang pampubliko dahil sa may haba itong 40 talampakan, 20 talampakan ng lapad at 10 talampakan ng lalim. If large temples or places once existed, they are gone today. This led to a curious question: did ancient India have kings or high-ranking religion leader? And what did the social pyramid look like? On my research, is monarchy in ancient India was sovereignty over a territory by a king who functioned as its protector, a role which involved both secular and religious power. The remains of the civilization suggest they were a very egalitarian society. Egalitarian means everyone in society was basically equal. Another difference is in military and weapons. There is a very little evidence of weapons and military culture in the Indus Valley. And the another difference is that astronomy seems to be less important in the India and other civilization unless the text has been lost.
Ang report ko ngayon is about Vedic period. So, ating aalamin kung ano nga ba ang Vedic period. So, makikita po natin sa purple of the map, around 1500 BCE, Hindu-European and people migration into the India. In between 400 and 1000 BCE, Hindu-European migration all over Europe and Asia. Yung iba naman ay pumunta sa Romance, Greece. Yung iba naman ay sa Turkey. Yung iba naman ay nag-stop lang sa Iran. And later on, sila ay naging tao na sa mga lugar na yun kung saan sila nag-migrate. Hindi na sila bumalik sa kanilang pinanggalingan. Kaya naman pinapaniwalaan sila na galing lang sila sa isang lugar dahil ang kanilang mga pananalita ay maraming pagkakahalintulad. At napatunayan din ito ng mga mananaliksik sa pamamagitan ng DNA. Pero sa mga ibang theory, hindi nila ito pinapaniwalaan. Isa sa dahilan kung bakit limitado ang ating kaalaman sa European dahil hindi natin maunawaan ang kanilang mga wika. O kaya sa paraan ng kanilang pagsusulat. Hanggang sa dumating ang mga Aryan at nagpakilala ito ng bagong wika na tinatawag na Sanskrit. Nahango sa salitang marangal. Ang mga Aryan ay mayroong 4 na aklat na itatag na kung tawagin ay Vedas. Ito ay mga naglalaman ng salawikain, linang pagdikma at sagradong ritual na nagsasalaysay kung paano mamuhay ang mga Aryan mula 1500 hanggang 500 BCE. At ang una at pinakamahalaga sa kanila na aklat na itatag nila ay ang Red Veda. Ito ay naglalaman ng mga awit at hymn ng mga Diyos na sinasamba ng mga Aryan. Ilan sa mga ito si Agni, Diyos ng apoy. Si Surya naman, Diyos ng araw. At si Endra, Diyos ng ulan at kulog. Ang pangalawa naman ay ang Yahurbida. Nang naglalaman ito ng batayan ng mga pari sa pagsasagawa ng mga seremonya at ritual. Ang pangatlo naman ay ang Samaveda, na ito ay nakabatay sa luntian ng mga awit ng mga Red Veda. At ang panghuli naman ay ang Atharva Veda. Ito naman ay naglalaman ng mga mahika, sumpa at mga ritual ng mga awit.
Indian caste system. The Indo-Europeans first settled along the Indus rivers in same place where the Indus Valley people had lived. They settled down and mixed with local Indian people. They lived there and eventually expanded throughout the Indo-Gangetic plan. It was at this time that the caste system got started in India. It is believed that the Indo-Europeans had a similar divisions of their society, but historians don't agree about how the caste system originated. The caste system is the permanent divisions of the people into certain levels within society. Each level or caste has particular jobs such as merchants, warrior, or priest. Ang Indian caste system o sistema ng katayuan sa lipunan sa India ay isang tradisyonal at hierarchical na sistemang gumagawa ng hiwalay ng mga grupo o kaste ng mga tao. Ang mga ito ay batay sa kanilang mga trabaho, pagsilang at lipunang posisyon. Tinatayang mahigit sa 2,000 tanyag na kastang kinabibilangan ng mga tao sa India. Meron tayong 4 na uri ng Indian caste system. Ito ay ang Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudra at Dalits. Ang Brahmins ay isang pangkat na kinabibilangan ng mga pari o espiritual na leader ng lipunan sa India. Sila ay pinakamataas na pangkat ng varna o kulay. Sa sistema ng kasta, tradisyonal na itinuturing silang mga tagapag-alaga ng kaalaman at relihiyon. Ang kanilang pangunahing tungkulin ay ang pag-aalaga sa mga ritual at seremonya sa mga templo, pagbibigay ng aral sa banal na teksto at pagtataguyod ng espiritual na pamumuhay. Ang pangalawa naman ay Kshatriyas. Ang Kshatriyas ay ang pangangalaga ng mga mamamayan, pagtatanggol sa kaharian at pagsasagawa ng digmaan at kapayapaan. Sila rin ang namumuno sa mga hindi militar o sibil na aspeto ng pamahalaan. Nag-aaruga at nagtataguyod din sila ng kaayusan sa seguridad ng lipunan sa India. Vaishyas. Ang Vaishyas ay isa sa 4 na pangunahing varna o kulay ng Indian caste system. Sila ay kinabibilangan ng mga mangangalakal, mga negosyante, mga magsasaka at iba pang mga profesional na may kaugnayan sa ekonomiya. Ang pangunahing gawain ng mga Vaishyas ay ang pangangalakal o pagsasaka na nagpapahalaga sa produksyon at kalakalan ng ekonomiya ng lipunan. Pang-4 is Dalit. Ang mga Dalit ay malimit na nakakaranas ng malalaking uri ng diskriminasyon, marginalisasyon at pang-aapi. Tradisyonal na nilalayuan sila at hindi pinahihintulutan ang mga ito na makisama o magkaroon ng mga interaksyon sa mga taong nasa mga matataas na kastang lipunan. Maraming uri ng trabaho ang mga gawain sa pilitan na inilalagay sa mga Dalit, tulad ng pangangalakal sa basura, paglilinis ng mga patay, at iba pang mga trabahong itinuturing na marumi o mabaho. Castes were very important to people's identities. There were 4 castes, but the others group below for the 4 castes known as Dalits or untouchable. Untouchable usually did the worst job, like cleaning up people's poop from the gutters, collecting garbage, and dealing with dead bodies. The lowest of the caste was the Sudras, the servants and farmhands who did not own their own business on their own land, and who had to work for other people. The largest number of people belonged to this caste. Above them were the Vaishyas, or farmers and traders, who owned their own farms or business. Above these people were the Kshatriyas or warriors. The most powerful caste was the Brahmins. Ito na yung mga Brahmins. Sila yung pinaka makapangyarihan sa bansang India. The priest and the other leaders. Many historians believes that when the Indo-Europeans arrived, they treated the native Indus Valley people as the untouchables. There were also dozens of smaller groups within each caste. People who came from different castes could not eat together. Usually people from one caste did not marry or make friends with people from the other caste. Untouchables were not allowed in temples and were seen as polluted. Ito na yung mga kabilang sa mga polluted is yung mga taong Dalits. Compared to Brahmins who were pure. Today, the caste system is outlawed by the modern Indian constitution, and urban areas most people ignore the caste traditions. However, in traditional rural areas, caste divisions still exist. The developing Indian culture of the Indo-European mixed with native Indus Valley people began to grow quickly. Their civilization spread from the Indus River Valley to the Ganges River. Similar to other civilizations, kingdoms developed as the territory expanded. So, yun na nga. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Next is we will discuss about the Indian kingdom and the foreign invasion. For about 1,000 years, Indo-European and the native Indian mix migrated throughout the northern part of the region. Dahil dito, they began societies to grow the number and the size. By 600 BCE, this slowly developed 16 different kingdoms called Madhya Chana Padas. During this time, Siddhartha Gautama gave his title as the prince who searched the truth and the end of suffering. After the year of searching of Gautama, he achieved the enlightenment and became also known as the Buddha or the Enlightenment One. Another religion is called Tainism, developed during this time. Both of these new religions clearly developed from Hinduism in the same way of Christianity and Islam. The first developed is called stupa. It's a moon-like structure that contains the ancient belief of the last Buddhism leader. Later, stupa transformed into new Buddhism structure called pagoda. Has many levels or tiers of roof. Also, pagoda is also Buddhism temple. Can be found all over the China, Japan, and Southeast Asia.